I realized the last couple days that as I was thinking about what I'm going to be saying in this video, I haven't made any videos about evolution in particular. I think I may have mentioned it in a few, or just what I think of evolutionary theory in general, but I've never made one specifically regarding evolutionists. So I wanted to make one today, and the main point that I want to make in this is really has to do with the definition of evolution and how it's understood. Um, and in just looking for a number of different definitions, not on Wikipedia or anything, but a number of different definitions in evolutionary textbooks, the basic definition that I get, or the common common trait in all these, I guess the common word in all these definitions that I get, is that evolution is a process. One definition here says evolution is a process that results in heritable changes in a population spread over many generations. There's a number on this article that I've read. One describes it as a gradual process by which the present diversity of plant and animal life arose from the earliest and most primitive organisms, which is believed to have been continuing for the past 3,000 million years. Um, so those are just a few definitions. But again, that common, I guess common theme would be the best word, is that evolution is a process. And in thinking about that, and the reason that I titled this video "Even Evolutionists Can't Run from God," is that if you're describing a process by which something happened, you haven't thrown out the window the idea that there must have been someone behind that process. Like just think of it in terms of a car, and I guess first of all I should say I think that John Lennox may have made a similar point in his book Has Science Buried God? It's been a while since I've read it, but just to be safe, so I'm not copying him. But this might be a little bit of a spin-off of it. If you just think of a car, think of an engineer in a Ford factory or a Chevy factory, or whatever kind of car you like, and that engineer has worked for years on this type of car, and it finally goes out to market, and somebody buys it, takes it home, takes it into pieces, and finds out exactly the process by which that car was built. And he describes the process. He says this piece must have been put here, the engine was put together and then put here, and the tires and the cross member and all of that. And he describes the process, and then because of that says, so no one must have built it, because I've described a process by which everything came to be to this car. I no longer need to believe that someone built it, and that's simply not true. Just because of the complexity of it, even if you described a process by which you think it happened, it's still obvious that someone put it together, that it took a mind to put it together. And even if you believe in evolution, you still can't run from the reality that God was behind our existence, that there was a very powerful and very purposeful mind behind our existence. And now I'm not gonna. I really don't need to get into evolution any more than that, because even if you hold to it, you still can't run from the reality that God exists. Now, it is going to leave some enormous questions about, well, how does the evolutionary theory fit into the story of creation? That's still going to be an enormous question that you have to answer, and I'd recommend another book by John Lennox called Seven Days That Divide the World. It gets into a number of things like the age of the Earth, and just how those 7 days fit into reality is the best way to put it, and a really good read. I think that would be a good starting point for those people. But that may even be something that Christians would disagree with me on. That you have to you have to completely throw evolution out the window. And I'll be honest, I don't believe in evolution. I never have, and there are a number of reasons why. But I believe that the story of Christianity and the truth of Christianity is built on the fact that Christ came and died on the cross. And when you think about the cross and you think of the two people that were next to Jesus on the cross as he died, one of them said to his friend on the other side that, we deserve this for what we've done. This man does not deserve this, talking about Jesus, that he doesn't deserve this punishment. And Jesus turned to him and said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." And the only thing that sent him to heaven was the fact that he put his faith in Christ. That's what saved him. It had nothing to do with anything else about his theories about how life came to be. It was the fact that he gave everything and believed in Christ. That's what sent him to heaven. And there are going to be some questions about life, and creationists are also going to have some big questions that God's going to have to answer for them. But even if you believe in evolution, you still cannot run from the reality that God exists. Even if you believe it with all your heart and argue as passionately as you can, God is still very much a reality and very much behind whatever process it was that brought us into existence. And again, I'd recommend that John Lennox book 7 Days That Divide the World, and Has Science Buried God is also a good one, not specifically about creation, but has a lot of good content in there. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I think it is a really good thing to get evolutionists and creationists thinking about. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to comment if you have anything to say, and I'm sure a lot of atheists will. Thanks. Bye.